Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park. Dave Rodman in for Calais Francois and Keith Fustel from Equibase
Look at that.
as
Look at that.
usual.
Wait,
Uh, at
you're
the,
me, I'm you.
How about
I
that?
love it.
Yeah,
A little
at
switcheroo
Equibase.
here today.
All right.
I'm Rod Dog.
Oh, wait.
You're Jethro.
Am I on the wrong side?
I don't know.
Really?
We're good.
I'm always on the wrong side when it comes to
I don't
wagering.
think you want to be me, Dave. No.
All right. Fast and firm.
Yeah.
A little chillier than yesterday.
Yes.
Going to the 50s, but still a really nice day. Fast, firm, and nice cloud cover. We like that.
We like that as chart callers and announcers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's been a little bit of tough. It gets a little tough with the glare.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I think it helps the fans, too. Horses come out of the paddock, too, there. You can see them a little bit better on camera. And, well, yesterday, before we went on the air, you thought a little speed on the track?
Little speedy edge on the main track yesterday. And congrats, you had a big day. 6 winners from a man over here. I was around. I had a couple. I was very embarrassed about my best bet that was 1 to 5. That we got you a little bit more value on that best bet today. Hopefully we can hit. But
well,
you were seeing the ball really
we
well.
We almost had the same best bet. Of course, 6 winners. Yeah. How do you think I can afford this fine Costco sweater?
Yeah.
Okay. First race to kick off the early pick 5, scratch 7, Noble Fish.
Okay.
8K crown in here.
Early pick 5.
Yeah, early pick 5, 12% takeout. Remember, it is a mandatory payout. The early pick 5, late pick 5 we'll talk about later with that carryover potential. And for a short little field, it's got plenty of zip in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, really. A couple of fast horses, including, and I think the speed of the speed, and we were touching upon this, one-way traffic, the 3-horse here for Caitlin Keel, had been in front the first call, 11 straight prior to its last. Point Doom, an extremely fast horse for Kieran, was able to kind of get in front of this one last time. I think with a clean break again, your top selection is going right to the front. 1 for 4 at the distance. Going to need that track to kind of play the way it did yesterday. I've got a little bit of a value shot that I'm going to try to beat you with here with the 5. Look sharp for trainer Karen Wagner coming in from Delaware. Last race, the blinkers were off. Prompted that pretty quick pace. Yahoo Omar, who was a 4-time winner, has now won 2 straight. Has posted some big numbers up there. We're going to go blinkers back on today, and it's shown the ability of 5/8. Maybe 6 is kind of pushing. If this horse is 1 at 6, can maybe prompt the issue. Can these two separate enough in their own little match race and take it from the quarter pole home? We're going to certainly try your 3-5. I am 5-3 in the opener. Little Skippy, I think, has run some bang-up races. The last race, maybe the number doesn't quite stack up to 61 Buyer, but visually it was good. Jostled at the start, an outside bid to go away and win clear. He's run some big races in the past from just off the pace as well. Ran big against Freeze the Fire going back to that race at Pimlico. So I definitely fear Little Skippy. Our video spotlight horse, Dave, Mr. Houghton, coming in here, first time for Lacey Gaudette, and we're going to go to its most recent race, an off-the-turf race at Monmouth back in May.
Yeah, back in May. That's the key here, time away. And, there's speed to his outside. But, yeah, it looks like maybe he can come from a little bit off of it, according to this video, right?
He's shown it a couple times on the page, and he was able to rate, and I think he's going to have to rate today. He was wide and closed in to win. And Natural Star, third-place finisher that particular day, recently topped at a 79 Buyer figure. So I think, that kind of cements the field that Mr. Houghton faced last time. Now it's going back. Protected here. Waive the claiming price for Lacey Gaudette and Company. 5-3-4-1, Dave 3-5-1-2.
Got to point out there not 1, 2, but 3 winners out of that race.
Yes.
So triple key race, time away for Lacey Gaudette's barn first time. Rodriguez had a couple of calls. He goes with Look Sharp, your top pick for Karen Wagner. Toledo's on Mr. Houghton there. Blinkers going back on Look Sharp. I do want to make a small case for one-way traffic. I know he was beaten to the front by a very quick Point Doom last time out. He's going to have that early speed with a good break. I really liked his race at the Big T August 30th. Dutch Mills closed, rallied wide. That was a rally-wide day at Timonium. A very strong effort, considering the closing nature of the track and posting a 75 Buyer number, which would be good enough in this spot. So that's why I'm using 3 on top instead of 5. Could have gone the other way.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. On to race 2 at 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Early pick 3 time for you. Yes, yesterday you had like what, $10 ticket and not spending much again today.
Get the single home.
12. I got it.
$12.
Yeah.
I mean, we're keeping it honest. And the good thing about this, you know, I've got a couple prices here in race 2 to get you started. Concrete Phase at a 6-to-1 morning line. Any Fool's Gold at 15. They'll come down a little bit with a couple of these scratches. Scratch the 6, 8, 9, and 11 out of race 2. Patty Van Twinkle going to try to take to the turf. Do you want to really take a short price? I fear the horse a little bit. Just kind of, if she can pretty much bring those dirt figures over to the surface, she'll be okay for Sweezy. Race 3, 2, 3, 5, and 7, like Grand Runner in there. We've got a video for that one. Wrap it up in the 4th, 2 deep. Dalinar Speed, I thought the Lone Turf was very good. And the 8, Rennie, another one. It's going to like the flow that's going to happen in front of him in race 4. It's a $12 ticket.
Okay, so you're going with Concrete Phase on top.
I
here.
am a little bit of a reach.
And no, I know that's one of your favorite ground-saving riders here.
It is.
Tony Radcliffe aboard.
He can save ground. He's not scared to save ground. There's going to be a couple horses. Some of the speed comes out of this race. I wish it would have stayed in. It does not. But what a big improve numbers-wise last time. First time Lasix back in a while. This is going to be first time Lasix on the turf. Rode kind of the wave of the track, and we're going to show that race a little bit later. Unfortunately, came in, did a little bumping there, was DQ'd in that Maryland Million Day race. But I like some of the finishes here on the turf, and every kind of turf sprint except maybe one had some issues. So if we come away clean the opening, say, 1/8 of a mile, some of the speed's going to run away. And I know Anthony Radcliffe. He is going to do everything he can to save ground and work an inside-out trip in race 2 to run them down.
All righty. Yeah, I went to Patty Van Twinkle really without looking at the morning line, just especially now with the scratches of the 6, the 8, the 9, and the 11. Original top pick was first foray, but had to go to my next choice in there, which is Patty Van Twinkle. Out of a double key race, Flower Mound and Designer came out of there to win. 2 back, Pleasant Embrace came back to win again after beating a Lovely Charm there. With a 66 buyer number, horses 4 for 9 lifetime is Pleasant Embrace. Yeah, turf is the question in here, but Sweezy with an overall good turf record indeed. You get J-Rod aboard, and I'm not super in love with the top pick in the spot, but I think the horse that we both have second, the 5, Any Fool's Gold, is going to offer a lot of value in this spot. Closed to finish second from well off the pace on what I had there is a speed positive day. October 13th on the turf here at Laurel Park. So this horse to close that kind of gap, 7 deep in the track, rallying, was indeed rallying behind Designer. That's a big feather in her cap today to move up.
Rallied into that lone speed. I like that. Designer went right to the front. Yeah, Spatial Reality showing the route speed. Will it transition? This is going to be the first time blinkers sprinting on the turf for Spatial Reality. Tim Grams has a horse coming over from Charles Hatton very quick, so bringing that 4.5 speed. Going to try to zip out there and steal it. Gets a little help with the scratch of Avalanches coming. I think that horse was going to go to the front. I'm looking for somebody from a little bit off the pace. Maybe not too far off the pace. Concrete Phase, working inside-out trip, and Any's Fool's Gold.
You're going deep there in the first leg of the pick 3, right?
Yeah, that's a spread for me.
Okay. Third race, scratch the 1, Lieutenant Stan. 6 is 1 over at 5.5 furlongs in here. And Keith, you went to Grand Runner in here, Video Spotlight horse.
Yeah, you look at the last couple of sprint races, what was won 3 of its last 4, going 3/4 of a mile. Tried to stretch it out to the mile last time out, just couldn't sustain as the favorite. Like this effort here, a little concerned about in for a tag for 75, though. You know, a barn that doesn't win a lot of races, right? A lower percentage. This horse is holding pretty good form. Urged along from the 3/8, able to sustain that run, worked outward, and ran down Rebel Empire. That was, I believe, the 4-5 shot in that race. So this horse kind of knows where the wire is, going 3/4, has that grinding kind of style. Lieutenant Stan is out. I thought would be part of the flow again. Bargaining power is quick. Love You Bye-Bye can be forward. Baron's Legacy as well. But Grand Runner just looking to maintain this sprint form for trainer Maxine Correa. Yeah, unknown at Laurel. First try over this track, but an 8-time winner. A good video spotlight there. Like the way he did it. Baron's Legacy, though, has run at Laurel at tilt to be to his side in here for trainer Jose Corrales.
He's got 2 in here as well as Trash Talking Larry. And I'm going with the Jose Exacta. With Barron's Legacy as a top pick. 6 beaten 4 lengths with the Apprentice aboard behind B West, who came back to win with a 74 buyer figure. Trouble in the race. 2 good efforts prior to that. One against John's Promise and Indian Lake. What's he won? About a dozen races lifetime, maybe a little more. Yeah. So I like the company lines there. Think he fits well in this spot. Trash Talking Larry, maybe this is a wake up. Bringing him from those distance races to the abbreviated 5.5 furlongs. He just may see those horses way out ahead of him and say, wait a second, I'm a thoroughbred. I'm having to catch up. I think he's a likely closer in this spot. Drop it in for the $7,500 tag here. So Jose Corrales has 2. The winner of his last race, Morning Thoughts, who went gate to wire, racked up a nice 80 buyer figure. I thought it was that was good for the level, but good for the day as well.
It was good for the day, and Trash Talking Larry's going to need Barron's Legacy to go into the race early and force that pace. He's gonna need some serious flow. I think at 5.5. I liked him a few races back. I think at 7, but I think Addie's Laddie's TNT is interesting for a barn that's had a really good year. Henry Walters had a win yesterday. Addie's Laddie TNT. The key for me is run against the right kind. Rad Paisley chased some fast horses and kept on going, and has run well fresh. A little bit of flattening late recent form, but I think this break is going to do this one some good with Matilda Burnham.
You go back and look at some of his races. He's pretty fast in that opening quarter mile if he gets a good break from the gate. Sharp break would be the key for Addie's Laddie TNT in race 3. Out of the 4th race, start of the Rainbow Pick 6, 13,777 is the carryover. You had a pick 3 ticket. I got a late pick 5 ticket, but Mackenzie Fives got a pick 6 ticket for you here. No singles. In the 4th race, starting with Art of Courage and Rennie. Horse that we both like there, Rennie. 1 in the 8 in the 5th, Sweet Honeybee. And Bond's Bell, a video spotlight horse on the way. 6th race, the deepest of the sequence with 4, 6, 9, and 13. 7th race, a pair, 5, 9, 5, 8, and then 6, 8 for the last 3 races in the 7th race. Yodeli Ehu, a horse that really I'm concerned about here. Off the layoff, he just might run a big one today. And your play Kernus in there in the 8th race. Scratch the 6 of the 7, so we got the 5 and the 8. Encore Commentator and Call Another Play, and then a nice 6 and 8 to round out that Rainbow Pick 6.
Okay.
$25.60. All right, in the 4th race, we agree. It looks like a lot of speed in this race, right? I mean,
there is some speed.
On paper, I mean, basic handicapping says, there's probably 3 or 4 horses who really kind of want to go in this spot, and Rennie's kind of the logical closer.
Yeah, let's go to the video, or a little spotlight. August 23rd, 5.5 at Colonial, and got the trip this particular day. Tucked up behind the speed, relaxed there quite well. Good ride by Ashton. Going to be able to kind of sit there, be a little bit patient. Going to work out a trip from the top of the stretch home, and finishes up. That's kind of a gaudy number, Dave, when you look at it, 83.
Yeah,
Do you trust in
it does stick out. Yeah, I was looking at this race this morning, thinking you look at the numbers this horse has run back on the turf. Robbie Bales had 50 and change, and that number just kind of sticks out. 83. Yeah. Maybe a horse for the Colonial course.
Could have been. Green Beans Lothario, okay. But again, we're talking about the way this horse kind of settled perfectly behind it. I think we'll be a little bit further back today. I think mid-turn might be 5, 6, 7 lengths out of it. But I think we'll stoke up a rally for Lacey Gaudet. I think this
aided by a good, quick early pace, I think, here. Yeah. I mean, handicapping 101 kind of pick early. Yeah.
Dalinar, I know, has got one race over the turf course to win. Delaware. That was an A other than, or 2 in life. So, but did beat the key horse here to me was his 3rd place finisher, Wara. This is a 5-time winner, 8 for 12 on the turf. I mean, 8 for 12 on the money with a top of a 91. That solidifies that field. Going for the tag, interesting little move here. Did it up front, took pressure, but held quite firm in a nice manner at Delaware. I think if push comes to shove, Dalinar might just have a rating gear if this outside speed just says, let's go ahead and go. It's going to be up to Carroll to kind of measure everything going to the turn to avoid any mishap. But I like Dalinar back here on the turf. And looking at Lynn Ashby, I know it's a smaller sample again, but the past couple of years, 3 for 8, 5 for 8 in the money, dirt to turf sprint with an ROI, $7.10.
Yeah, 5 ace of Delaware, 5.5 Laurel, a little longer stretch, right?
It is,
so
it
yeah,
is.
but
It's
you're
just
right.
the tenacity this horse showed through the lane was big.
Yeah, but it has gone gate to wire on the dirt, going 7 furlongs. But again, that was an off track. So yeah, we know he's got early speed, turf and dirt for sure. A couple horses keep coming out of the Katie's Notion race as Mintonon and Ride Diggity Dog. I'm going to kind of lean the Ride Diggity Dog in there with a double key there. Fair-haired boy, tall order, second, third place finishers. Both came back to win with a 77 to 82 buyer figures respectively. One for 30,000 and tall order allowance win 82 on the turf with a deep out trip out of a double key race and a horse that looks like he might have a little bit of a passing gear, and Karamanos comes back to him for trainer Hugh McMahon.
Yeah, I think out of that race, I was talking about the Rennie race, Katie's Notion might have been in there in that race at Colonial. That kind of gave me a little bit more of a push towards Rennie. We both use Freestanding. Freestanding's a horse that hasn't had the easiest of trips, but draws outside, plenty of speed to the inside. I gotta think Cruz is going to be able to get this horse to draft over a few paths, not be caught too wide, leaving the far turn, settle, and ramp up a run from, say, the quarter pole home.
Yeah, this horse at Laurel came from way, way back. 6th at the 8th pole, 12th in a field early on in a field of 12 to rally way back, beating evenly divided CC's Gold Rush. That was November of 2023. So maybe if he can run to his form of about a year ago with plenty of speed, I mean, he's going to offer plenty value in here at 15 to 1 morning line. Certainly double digits, I would think, off a recent form.
I believe so. I would think at least 8 to 10 or 12 to 1. I've got to demand that kind of value on Freestanding today.
Alrighty. What's next? The race 5. It is the late pick 5, and I do have a ticket for you for the late pick 5. Will 12% takeout you see there, and if nobody picks 5 of 5, it's carryover potential. I'll try again. The tickets have been getting cheaper and cheaper, so we're going to try to single on-court commentator. 8-9 in the 5th race, 4-6-9, 4-5-8, singling the 5 in the 8th race, and 2 deep. You know, maybe use that as your base ticket, you know, if you're flush with little cash. There's a couple other horses you could add in there, but just for a blueprint here, we'll go the $18 ticket. It's my late pick 5 for the day.
All right, let's look at the 5th. 5.5, maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds going 5.5. Frock off the claim, the 8, Bonds Bell. Let's go to the video spotlight of that one. Most recently, 9:22, right, at Laurel. Just misses this particular day. Brutal beat, gets beat and nose. Bonds Bell, you know, a little bit closer to the flow in that mile race at Timonium. I was a little surprised that she was this close. Goes ahead and gets a narrow lead, top of the stretch, battles it out quite gamely from the 3/16 pole to the wire. We're going to go first off the claim. That was Ness. This is Frock, but Frock has taken a horse off a Ness in the past. You know, it's not something you do a lot of and do well, but man, she just has to hold again like a B race, B plus race, and she should be into the mix with some questionable speed in front of her. I do think at 5.5, she's going to have to be sharp enough to get close, say from the 3/8 pole, to bring that finish. Sweet Honeybee is awfully fast from the inside, sharp speed on it. Maybe a little track that kind of favored closers on October the 13th, but I like that effort with Barbosa from the inside. And My Sassy Valentine had to be used early. Goes second off of a break for Diane Marici into that race. Quality Weekend Ariel Moan just faded that last, say, 1/8 of a mile. A better break today, and she's going to be right up on the engine. I think she's going to be the first one to move into Sweet Honeybee if X-Gene doesn't fire from the outside.
My Sassy Valentine, Julio Hernandez aboard, weight 126, your second pick there. Sweet Honeybee down to the inside. I believe that Mackenzie uses that in the pick 6 as well. And then Joyful Kitten, anything you want to
I just think off the drop, Dangerous, a 3/4 work that's good enough. Have to catch the kitten. You just think a little bit more turfy, but Italian War Cry is within this family, so I do fear Joyful Kitten off the break in the drop for
Right.
Gina Robb.
$15,000 purchase in for 15, and a kind of horse you have to use a little bit of imagination and maybe trainer intent for here, right? Off slowly in debut, long time away, ran the horse for maiden 45, right? So they thought something. The horse was 6-1 in a 6-horse field there. Perhaps respect for the Rob Barham there, but maybe something happened there. It's second time Lasix and maybe a little freshening and a drop. This horse could really, really wake up, determined Princess runner-up of that race. You know, good numbers.
I think, and you've got Tangerine and Ginger in here for Damon. I think, you know, finally gets a chance on a fast track. Hasn't taken much play in its first 2 races, but Damon, 3rd career start in these maiden claimers. He's done okay. I believe it's a positive ROI angle.
They both come out of the Charmin race. I went down with the count with X-Gene last time out, and I thought had maybe was resistant to a little bit of a rating hole there and trying to get out a little bit. Back on the dirt this afternoon, but both Tangerine, Ginger, and X-Gene out of the Charmin race. It was I had it as not only a speed day on the turf, I'll say it, a ridiculous speed day on the turf. Yeah, I mean that was a very, very pro speed day on the grass here at Laurel.
All right.
Okay.
It's 5 down. Commercial break.
Commercial, and we'll be back with a jackpot high five and much, much more.
All right.
Alrighty, let's get back to the action. And a 5.5 furlong turf race jackpot super high five started a late pick 4,189 carryover in the jackpot. Super high five, 15% takeout, dollar minimum wager. A lot of scratches here. 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 16. Roll with it, Keith.
This is a scramble of a race. I've got it marked up wide open, even with the scratches. We were both talking earlier this morning about Twain. Well, Twain we'll wait another day. I go ecumenical. You've got this one in the mix as well. Some of the stats here for McMahon don't work, but I think this horse is going to work today. Video spotlight as well. This was on the main track, September the 28th. And I thought all in all was a really good effort. Just maybe a little too keyed up, Dave, when you're watching this race and you're calling it, rushing up 3 wide into the flow of a couple okay horses.
Well, that speed is going to serve him well on the grass, and if anything, if he's going to improve, it'll be on the grass. He's by Catholic Boy, who won 5 or 6 on the turf, more than $1 million. So they've all the turf's going to be the game. You see Catholic Boy, you'll mostly likely see the offspring run on the grass. Yes, rushed up 3 wide, and then actually hangs in quite well.
Yeah,
right. Finished second, a dead heat for second. With was it General Maximus is the name of the horse anyway. Winds up in a heater there for second as the winner, a little Sebastian, who's got a little talent, draws away.
Absolutely, and the blinkers go on. Even a little comeback there, you know, and just missed getting the full placing. And you're thinking maybe turf was in the cards all along. You had a 3/4 work back in September recently. October 13th, a 5/8 move around the dogs. The breeding is there, and is the proven speed in the race. So I like that ecumenical for Carrasco and McMahon, I think, to be forward a long, long time in race 6.
Yeah, Duarte unleashed a first-time starter, a terror on the turf the other day going long. Here's a sprinter firster from the Duarte bone for Colts Next Stable. Then what time? Not this time, Messiah. 18%, 2-year-old first-time starter winners. That's strong. There's some turf on the dam side, and I tried to look for clues, doing a little, at October 5th, or the other horse on the grass, was it Outrunner?
That was the horse.
Yeah,
that ran big.
Worked same day, October 5th. Did they work in company? I don't know. Anyway, right there. So who knows? Maybe he's as good or second best. Even if you're second best Outrunner in the work, you might be able to fire here.
It was 1/5.
That's my angle.
Yeah,
I've
got a speed in the 9 in ecumenical. I got a closer in the 13, Cinetic. For Antonio Machado, there's Stormy Flight again, my key. This horse had quite an eventful trip on September the 15th. Pinched back at the break, steadied about a 16th of a mile into the race, and then took the rating in behind rivals, was kind of patiently handled as the field got away. When the real running started, gave up too much ground, but finished quite well. I think with a few races under its belt, Cinetic has maybe that stamina advantage and should definitely bring a kick if things get hot and crazy on the front end. Yes, I got the 6 and the 11. Shane Falco from the replacements, right? Keanu Reeves. We all saw that movie. That's kind of the, that's my kind of flick. But looking here by Temple City, Schumann trained a sibling, a half sibling, that won on the turf to Shane Falco. Just a couple angles there. 4 starters for Dreaming of Janet, a debut winner and 2/3. So there's some earliness there within this family. 9-13, 6-11. Fontainebleau, what are your thoughts on this one? A claim, right? This was first off the claim for Horacio De Paz.
Do I have any thoughts?
Yes, you have a thought.
Of course I do. Well, the winner of the race, Thunderburn, came back to notch an allowance other than at Presque Isle Downs. I thought with a much better number. I mean, maybe they found something here, thinking that she's going to do okay on the grass. It is kind of, I just put her in the mix, really, as we said, a wide open scrum. I do want to talk about the horses Drew in.
Okay.
Caraconte, right? We know. First, and the dam, an Irish dam, has 2 wins in Ireland. 2 wins on the all-weather at 1.25 miles.
Oh, jeez.
And a win on the turf.
Okay.
At 2 miles.
All right.
On the soft going.
Right back with Toledo.
And here we go at 5.5. No, it's Ruiz.
Ruiz
on that.
Ruiz,
he's on. Where does he go?
Toledo's going to go.
Oh, he goes to the Duarte horse, to my horse, to my pick.
But anyhow,
but I thought that was
Toledo.
Just kind of interesting, watch the horse down the line, going long before the win. I just, it's hardly ever see offspring out of a dam like that, right? No. In Maryland, at least, right? Yeah. Okay. 7th race, scratch 1, 3, and the 7, and you got Stat City.
This is on Kerness. Jamie Ness and gets an assist. We'll talk about that in a second. But Ness, past 3 years on the dirt in the routes, it's 24 for 51, 57% on this kind of tag jump, claiming jump, 50% in the claiming price, off of a win, ROI 275. Sagrada Rey is out. I know we had this outer draw. Now we only have a field of 7, also scratch the 7 Dav. This horse can break and get out there running awfully quick, and he's going to do it again today. He's going to drop in. I think he can control it. You saw them do a team up in the nightcap last night. Kernesso to the front, improving. I think we'll take this field coast to coast.
Okay. Milan in 8th.
Yeah.
That's a little bit, I think he can do it, right? But I thought the races were wide open even when Sagrada Rey was in the race. A couple of horses that interest me in here, that's Yodeli Ehu, who's been retooled and freshened and has a bullet work at Parks since the freshening. The other Jamie Ness in the race, right, will be the higher price. And then you got Hornbeam off the claim, scratched here October 18th, given a little more time. Gina Perry barn, you look at the DRF stat, only goes back a couple years over 13, but you go back a little longer. Gina Perry has a positive ROI first off the claim of $2.96. And
if you tweak it a little bit to the first after trainer
switch. That's right.
It's really strong. A Hornbeam ran well. Recent scratch, but ran down the lone speed last time and did it quite impressively through the final 3/16 of a mile. I think in the dance, the 4 horses just kind of, he's 3 years old, but he's getting a little bit more mature here late in the 3-year-old season. He's really starting to run. And he's visually even looking stronger. He doesn't mind a target. Was down on the worst part of the racetrack for a while on Maryland Million Day. Got out and closed in behind Clubman. I thought that was a good effort. Mile and 8 doesn't really bother me too much. This guy just kind of keeps chugging to those who are in front of him. Galatians, some traffic last time. Got up a little close. Had to tap the brakes a couple times before flattening out. But he's run some good races at 1 mile and 1/8. 9.542. Hornbeam at a price here still, I think, for Rodman.
Okay. On 8th race, a 1-turn mile, second wire finish, scratch onto the Truth at First Sight, 6 and 7 in here. And interesting race because we have a couple of horses coming out of the Style Points race, the Virginia Oaks, And Call Another Play, the Weber City Miss winner, and on-court commentator from the Brittany Russell barn.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what makes the race interesting to me. Good couple of classy runners out of there.
Yeah, Call Another Play is going to be my top selection. I think back on the Lasix is key for me. It's had a couple starts, and it's amazing. You really just take a quick glance at the horse. How's it still eligible for the first level allowance, right? State bred, state sired. But it is, has run well in grade 2, grade 3s. I was a little disappointed about the try-2 back. Walked the dog up front, faded behind Rodin Goddess. Going to have to improve on that, but maybe Lasix is the key for this filly. She'll be forward enough here. Red Hat Hannah, I think, is the speed of the speed. Got herself on a little bit of a jackpot. Talking to connections, they've been high on this filly. She impressed in debut. Maybe with a relaxed trip outside, she can go a long way. I'll throw her into the mix. But I like Call Another Play in here, Dave. You like on-court commentator.
Yeah, they both come out of the style points race. The Oaks, that race was taken off the turf, 2 back on-court commentator, off the pace winner there by 6. I really got a good impression from this filly. Like, she wants to run all day. The one-turn mile should suit her just fine in here. She rated kindly that day, swung out 4 wide, and looked to me like it was Stamina City.
Stamina City, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's the kind of horse who's going to relax, offer whatever pace there is. She likes the dirt as much as the turf. I think has quite a bit of talent, few options going to the future for the Uncle Mo filly for the Elkstone group, homebred for Elkstone.
In our video is Isabella's Glory. Sorry, Dave. The 3 horse Isabella's Glory. We both think in the mix. It's hard to leave out of your exactest tries and supers. She likes the one-turn mile. The one-turn race is at Laurel Park, and she thrives. And this was another really good race. This was Maryland Million Day, and she makes a strong move. 5, 6 wide, caught in between horses, and we're going to see this is what we were talking about earlier in the day. Outer horse comes in, a little bounce around, a jostle, but she keeps on going, only to miss a neck. Actually got the lead. Devil Pays in Gold here. This was at 7/8 of a mile. Isabella's Glory certainly works at a mile, but a gritty effort nonetheless. Corrales, she's holding form for Jose.
Don't let the bulk of her form fool you, because it did me. It fooled me back 2 races back and calling the race, opening quarter 24, 1/2 48, and she was right up there. I mean, she was sharp. Corrales has put a little more speed in her, even though in the past she's been kind of a deep closer from second last or last. But lately she's had a lot more early lick. So whatever the rider wants to do, whatever the instructions are, I think she'll be a little closer than you think. Yeah. Okay, on to race 9. We keep babbling on, and we're almost out of time. Scratch 1, you can't win.
All right.
But
real quick,
can we get this one home? Your pick,
Lily Lane.
Lily Lane.
I thought tried very hard first time for this barn, off of a break up at Aqueduct. Chased a really fast horse in reflexivity. Came back to run a 78 next. Shown the ability to come from just off the pace, winning an allowance race, going back at Indiana Grand. Looking at the field, not a lot of flow. I like that tightener right there at 3/4. Let's go to the front and try to control things. Going to use a Determined Princess, your top selection first off the claim for Ness off of Trombi. Cover the Spread, video spotlight horse, because we're going to wrap things up here. Cover the Spread ran very well. Had a really tough trip. 3 races back at Colonial. You'll see the comment. Held up several times. This start here, Maryland Million Day, didn't have the easiest of go. 13 horse field early on when Rank had to steady a little bit out of the starting gate. So I thought the recovery was good. They went quick enough though, Dave. She got what she wanted up in front. 23-2, 47-1, 11-1. Works out a trip here late. I thought finished quite well.
Yeah, good number, 73. Good enough to win this race. A little better than Lily Lane's last up in New York, and probably, well, it's as good as Determined Princess, and now non-winners of 2. So there's a Ness horse on video. I'm going with the other Ness horse first off the claim. As you know, one of my favorite angles, I say it too much, when a trainer claims a horse and they jump up in a tag. I think they like what they found. So, yeah. Anyway, 6854, 3862 for Keith. And 22 minutes to post. Got to get rolling. How about our best bet long shot for you?
Best bet, Kerness. Again, we talked about Sagrada Rey coming out. Another scratch in there. It doesn't have to avoid that 9 post. We got the 7 post today. A clean break. And the confidence in the jump up for this barn speaks volumes.
And your value play?
Value play. Look sharp. We're going to get it started. Maybe not. 2-1 right now. Precipitous drop off the morning line, but hopefully this one can hedge up a little bit and go ahead and prompt the very speedy one-way traffic.
That was Joe Jackson's money. He sent that in.
All right.
Joe Jackson's best bet.
Okay.
Anyway.
And what do you got?
About 3 people. About 3 people got that. Okay, best bet. I'm going to on-court commentator, adept on turf and dirt. I really like the way she finished here at Laurel Park. Settling kindly, rating kindly, and moving up 4 wide and going away Stamina City. And value play in the 7th race where your best bet is. Kerness, maybe we have the exacta. I'm going Hornbeam in there first off the claim. It was scratched October 18th, giving a little more time away out, and then comes back in a real salty field here.
Yeah.
Right.
Brought a really good finish last out.
Yeah. All right. That's it for today at the races, I think, right? 21 minutes out to post time. Thanks, Keith, for joining me all weekend.
Yes.
And Mackenzie Fivers is coming up. Got that Pick 6 ticket for you later on. And she'll recap that and much more. She'll be here for a quick look at the opener in just about 7 minutes. Good luck.
Good luck, everybody.